Hey everyone, Blade here. So, I was talking to one of you guys, and that's often how many of these videos start, is that I was talking to one of you guys, which is why I love talking to you guys, to give me so many good ideas. And I realized that I should probably make a video telling you guys how I got into the series in the first place, as I think it will explain a lot of things, why I react the way I do, and things like that. And also, it'll help to where people have questions in the future. I can just direct them to this video and they'll be able to get their questions answered. And I know I've told you guys like a brief summary, like a lot of you guys who are older, I've told you guys before, but this, you haven't heard it in this detail. So even if you think you've heard my story, well, I suggest you take a look at this. Hopefully I'll make it a little bit nice and whatnot. And without further ado, let's begin. So, how did I come across the series in the first place? Well, you might think that I saw it like on a website like Funimation or something like that, but no, I don't remember what the website was. It was quite a while ago, but the way it was displayed, it was only the name, and the name said Hyperdimension Neptunia, the animation. Now, and then what caught me was the dubbed part. Now, I was at a part in my life where I just wanted to see all the dubbed anime that I possibly could. They were interesting, and I just personally like dubbed anime, seeing, because I was starting to see that there were some really good voice actors out there. And I saw this one. Now, if you've seen my most recent episodes, particularly, well, my most recent episodes, you probably would have picked up that blue and the color blue and water are, they're very strong weaknesses for me. And the title of the series had the name Neptunia in it. And Neptunia, I was thinking, oh, Neptune, like the god of water, who I loved, and I read so much about him. And also the title, the first part of the title, Hyperdimension. I'm also a big fan of space and dimensions and things like that. So I was just thinking this was just a home run. I was like, whoa, this is gonna be a series about space and water and something like that. Maybe like under the sea kind of thing. I'm interested. The very first scene, if you guys remember, it actually did have water. Now, funny story, I actually was cut off like right in those few seconds. Like every time I tried to watch it, like I had to go do something else or something like that. So it was like a few days later until I actually watched it, and by then some hype had built up for me watching that series. So I was like, okay, let me try out this series. And then I saw Neptune, and so I was thinking, okay, she must be like the queen of the water planet. And then I saw the others, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, it's okay, it has a little bit of the fan servicey side, that's fine. And then Purple Heart transformed into her normal Neptune form, and then I almost closed out the episode. Now let me explain some things, alright guys? There are 3 things that when I watch anime, if they have them in it, I normally veto it. Alright? The very first one is breaking the 4th wall, which, as you guys know, Neptune does quite often. The second thing is if the environment is full of nothing but women. And in the anime, that was indeed the case. Or the guys were not guys, they were some other kind of creature, but it was mainly just women. That was also in there. And the third thing is fan service to an extreme level to where it could be uncomfortable. Like, for example, Trick. I'm not gonna show you guys, like, I imagine I'm like flashing pictures right now. I'm not gonna flash a picture of that because I don't want to take a picture of that, but you guys should know if you've seen the series. And so I was thinking, when Neptune first transformed and they were all transforming, initially my first reaction was like, this was just, are they all playing a game, or like, is this just like a bunch of girls playing this game and there was no plot to it whatsoever? But then when you go to Neptune's like Basilicom, right when I was about to turn off, she said Sonic Jump. And I was like, whoa, hold up. She said Sonic? Now, back then, ironically, I did not actually think she was referencing Sonic. I thought she was just saying, because Sonic is a generic word also, it could mean a bunch of things. It didn't have to mean the character. But I liked Sonic enough that I was like, okay, well, I mean, it was cool enough, you know, I'll keep watching, and that's kind of what stuck me through watching the rest of the episodes. But as it went on and on, I found my 3 fears being verified, and I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna continue this series. I know there's this 3 episode rule in anime that you watch an anime for 3 episodes before you decide to leave it or not. I was like, I'm gonna be done after this first episode. And I would have if it wasn't for Neptune herself. Specifically, I remember telling everybody, all my old, the guys who've been here for a while, in my character rankings video, Neptune said this one line. And that is what made me go, okay, you know what? While there are many things I don't like about this series, this Neptune character, she's kind of cool. She reminds me of like Naruto or Luffy or, you know, other anime characters. And I was thinking, you know what? I just want to see what Neptune does next. And so I did. And then as the series went on, I started getting attached to the other characters as well, especially the sisterly bond. That was one of the things that I really liked because, well, I have a little sister myself, and so as an older sibling, it's like I get where they're coming from, and it seemed very like I could feel the relationship between the sisters. That was something I'm not really used to, I guess, now that I think about it. Like, how many brotherly bonds have? Well, I mean, there are some, but it's not. I don't think it's that common to where, like, most of the time you see, like, well, anyways, I won't get into that, but yeah. So, and then flash forward to like the end of the series, because I don't know, I just felt like the characters and the world also, the world was colorful, it was vibrant, it was happy, and I wanted to know more about it. And then you flash forward to Ray, who I actually did not see coming as the villain of this series. I was like, whoa, she was the villain? Well, that was a pretty cool plot twist. And then Ray was dressed in blue, okay? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I went to the comment section to see what people think about Ray. Like, I went to YouTube to see if there was a video of Ray, and there was. And then that's actually where I found out that they were actually based off of gaming references. I know there were Mario references in there were Sonic references in there was the Kinect in there, and like, but I didn't actually think that they were doing that, like, because Noir said YouTube in one episode, so I was thinking, you know, they just, you know, are bringing a bunch of things into this world. I didn't know that they were specifically targeting games, but then once I read those comments, I was like, wait, hold up, you're telling me Ray was the Atari console? And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. And then they said Neptune was Sega, and then I went back and I said that first episode where she said Sonic Jump, and I was like, okay. I grabbed my wallet. I was like, okay, I just gotta play this game to see what Neptune does. I know it had fourth wall breaking. I know it had questionable fan service moments, and I know that it had mostly girls. But I wanted to check out the game and just see, because mainly for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to fight Ray, and I wanted to see what was this huge plot twist. Because for me, that was pretty cool. I was like, I didn't expect her to be the villain. And I also wanted to just find out more about Neptune. I didn't know, the anime didn't really highlight IF or Compa. I didn't know anything about them, so I just wanted to see. And then I played the first game. And then I found my standards were really low. I was thinking, like, I've played some of those free-to-play games online that they advertise, and they're pretty bad, they're pretty terrible. They have like zero, maybe like a $10 budget, maybe, you know, things like that. I was expecting the Neptune game to be like this. I was thinking I wasn't gonna enjoy it. I was thinking I wasn't gonna enjoy the gameplay. I was just there for the story. So my expectations were at the lowest that they could be. And I found myself really pleasantly surprised. One, the game didn't have, really, for the most part, if you didn't look for the fan service, it wasn't there. You know, like, they may have had a few scenes here and there, but for the most part, it seemed a lot better than the anime was. At least for Rebirth, I was playing Rebirth 1. And then there were actually guys in there. I was like, whoa, Ganache, Yvonne, these are actually guys. And they're relevant to the story. Where were they in the anime? You know, I was thinking that's pretty cool. Now, the fourth wall breaking moments were still there, but I actually grew to kind of like them. And I especially started liking the Neptune IF and Compa dynamic. That ended up being one of my favorite things. I was like, I didn't even know, like, I didn't get this relationship in the anime, but I get it here in the game, and it was really cool. And then from there, I was like, okay. And I also had, before I played that game, I read online to see what kind of game what game I should play. Here was the advice that I was given. I was told that the most serious one out of the 3 Rebirth games. Oh, actually, before I played Rebirth 1, or before I even found out about the Rebirth series, the first game I came up with was actually Mega Dimension, because I wanted to know if there was a game after the anime. I was like, Mega Dimension? Like, what's this? And I saw a trailer for, I started seeing the trailer for it, and I remember seeing, if you guys go back to, like, my episode, what was it, like 2, where Neptune and Nepgear were walking across, I remember seeing that, and then I stopped right at that moment, where Neptune and Nepgear were looking at the camera. I was like, oh, hold up, no. I was like, if this is actually the future game, and I was thinking, this looks pretty cool, it actually is in 3D and everything, let me go back, because I want to start from the series from the beginning. So, when I was doing research on the Rebirth games, I was told that Mark II was the more serious one, if you want like the serious feel. Victory was the most funny one, and arguably the best one. And Rebirth 1 was in between the two. And so I was thinking that, so that's what I was going back based off on. But that was just a little tidbit. But I ended up playing Rebirth 2, and Rebirth 2 was what really made me, like, Rebirth 2 had some really questionable moments. It did. But it was mainly the seriousness of the story, and then the Conquest ending. While the Conquest ending, I know a lot of you guys don't like it, don't like talking about it. What it told me is that the writers of the Neptunia series do know how to make a serious story, and they can if they want it to. And from that moment on, I was like, okay, well, they know what they're doing. They can actually make a good series. And I was seeing the gaming references and really enjoying it. And then that leads us up till today, because, actually, it leads us up to Rebirth 3, where I finally got to see Rei. And actually, Victory ended up being the game I enjoyed the least, I think. Probably because Plutia was a lot nicer in the anime than she was in the actual game and some other stuff. But after that, you know, I was basically hooked. I was like, okay, I played the spin-offs. But it was mainly because of the character. It was never because of, like, I knew the company, because I played visual novels. Like, this was the first, well, okay, I've played RPG games before. If you want to know, if you must know, my first one was Sonic, but then I went on to, like, Final Fantasy and things like that. But I came to the series not because of the gameplay, not because of the company, but literally because of the character Neptune herself. Neptune is the reason that I came to the series, because I just enjoyed her character. And then I went on to others. And now we have Uzume, who, if I was not a fan before, I am, like, especially since she's in every single game that's coming out, you best be sure I am looking forward to every single game she is in. Alright, I am buying it. Like, that's just, if she is in the game, you sold me. Alright, it's as simple as that. But yeah, I thought that I would get that out of the way, so maybe that can explain, you know, why I react, like, why I seem so invested in the story, because literally that's the main reason I'm playing the game. The fan service, I literally can do without. I'm like, just, you can cut it out. I actually would kind of prefer it, some of the things, because I feel like the game would be a lot more mainstream if they did do that. I feel like it could be a Smash Brothers type game, where, you know, in Smash Bros, you have all these characters from different games coming up in one area, and you fighting with them, and that's enticing. The Neptunia series, if it was a really well-renowned and respected franchise, it could be one that you were looking forward to whenever the next consoles came out. Like, oh, what's the Neptunia series gonna do? I'm really excited about that. What consoles are they gonna put in? What references are they gonna use? You know, that kind of stuff. And that's the main reason I decided to play this game. So I hope that clears things up if people who are watching now and people in the future. I think after having a conversation with somebody that it was a video I needed to make, just to help clear some things up. So and that's also why, if you guys ask like if I played the other games that the company has made, like Idea Factory, Compile Hard and Mate, I haven't. That's not been my main point. It's just been literally Neptune for a big part. But now, like, you know, I care about the rest of the characters too, as you can tell by using it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little, well, I'm not sure, like, how long is it? 15-minute video? It's shorter than I thought it would be. If you got any questions, please post them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Oh, and well, no, I said that. And I will see you guys next time.